All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're cracking open one of the biggest challenges in finance, the AI that's making these huge decisions about our money. We're going to see how we can turn that mysterious black box into something we can all understand, a clear box.
Okay, just picture this for a second. You apply for something really important, a loan, a mortgage, maybe a new credit card, and all you get back is a simple no. Your first question, of course, is why? What was the reason? And here's the really frustrating part. For a lot of the incredibly powerful AI models that banks are using today, the answer is a total black box. A decision comes out, but the exact logic, the why behind it, is often completely hidden, sometimes impossible to figure out. This isn't just about one person's frustration. It's actually a massive risk for the entire financial system. When banks and even regulators can't fully explain why their own systems are making certain calls, you end up with this dangerous gap where trust and accountability should be. So you might be thinking, don't we have ways to explain these things? Well, the truth is, the old methods just don't work. For one, they're static. You get a snapshot of why a decision was made, but the second the model updates, that explanation is totally useless. They're also completely mismatched. A data scientist might get a super technical chart, while a customer just gets a vague, unhelpful sentence. And maybe worst of all, the systems that explain the model and the ones that monitor it are in two completely different worlds. They don't talk to each other.
Okay, so what do we actually need then? Well, we need something totally new. We need a system that's dynamic, that's always current, and can explain the model as it is right now. It needs to be audience-aware, smart enough to know who it's talking to and give them the right level of detail. And it has to be holistic, bringing explanation and monitoring together in one single unified system. And that brings us to the hero of today's story, a new concept called the AI orchestrator. And it's not just a small tweak, it's a total game changer. A whole new way of thinking about how to build transparent systems. So at the core of this whole new approach is something called an LLM agent. The easiest way to think about it is like this. It's a super smart AI that doesn't just give you one simple answer. Instead, it knows how to use a whole toolkit of specialized programs to solve really complex, multi-step problems. Probably the best analogy here is to think of it like a brilliant project manager. The agent itself isn't doing all the hard math. Instead, it's this intelligent orchestrator. It knows exactly which specialist, which tool to bring in for each part of the job, and then it pulls all of their work together to give you one clear, coherent answer.
All right, so theory is one thing, but let's get under the hood and see how this thing actually works. How does an agent like this build a system we can all trust?
So this, right here, is basically the blueprint. We can call it the architecture of trust. It all starts with the core model. That's the original AI doing the heavy lifting, like figuring out credit risk. Then you plug that model into a toolkit filled with specialized programs, a tool for predicting, a tool for explaining, and a tool for monitoring. And running the whole show, that's our orchestrator, the LLM agent.
And I really want to zoom in on that monitoring tool because it is so important. See, the agent isn't just looking backward to explain a decision that already happened. It's using this tool to constantly ask questions in real time. Questions like, hey, is the data we're feeding the model starting to change? Is the model becoming biased against certain people? And maybe the most basic question of all, is this model still even accurate? It's providing constant, ongoing oversight.
Okay, so that's the mechanics. But what's the payoff? Where's the magic? Well, it's all about getting the right explanation to the right person in a way they can actually understand. And this table just shows you the agent's superpower perfectly. So if you're the client who got denied, you don't get a spreadsheet. You get a simple story in plain English with the key reasons and even some advice. But if you're a regulator, you get a totally different report, a detailed, formal audit trail for compliance. And the CEO, they get a high-level dashboard with key performance metrics and risk alerts. It's the same core information from the same model, but served up in three totally different, totally customized ways. That's the power here. And this is really the key takeaway. We're moving away from this old idea of just printing out a static report that's out of date the next day. This agent creates a live, interactive control panel for the AI. It's like a living, breathing governance system. Okay, I know this all sounds amazing, but let's be real for a second. This isn't magic. There are some serious real-world hurdles you've got to clear to actually build a system like this. And yeah, that list it's a lot. You've got the purely technical stuff, like making sure your data is clean and that the system is fast enough for real-time decisions. You've got operational headaches, like what to do when the core model is updated every week. And then there are the massive governance issues, from digging deep to find hidden biases to making sure everything is secure and compliant. But here's the thing. While these are big challenges, they're not impossible. They are known engineering problems, not some great unsolvable mystery.
Okay, let's zoom out for a minute and look at the big picture here. What we're talking about isn't just some neat tech upgrade. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about AI in finance, a move away from just getting predictions to actually understanding them.
And you should know, this is not just a nice-to-have feature anymore. It is rapidly becoming a must-have. There are major new regulations coming down the pike, like the huge EU AI Act, that basically demand this level of transparency. The law is finally starting to catch up with the technology.
And that's what's so great about this LLM agent idea. It's almost perfectly designed to meet these new rules. It gives you explanations a normal person can actually understand. It has that constant, proven monitoring for bias and drift built right in, and it can generate the transparent, secure audit trails that regulators are screaming for.
Because really, when you boil it all down, that's what this is all about, right? The big goal is to unlock the secrets hidden inside these complex AIs and share them with everyone. That's how you democratize the insights, and that's how you build real, genuine trust between us, the people, and the technology that has so much power over our lives.
So that leaves us with one last big question to think about. With technology like these AI orchestrators, are we finally on the verge of bridging that huge gap, moving from systems that just spit out an answer to systems we can actually genuinely understand? It feels like the journey is just getting started.